Hello? Okay, everything seems to be working right now. Today we are going to play some Elder Scrolls after some quite while. Now, if I remember correctly, the last time I have been streaming Elder Scrolls was actually 3 years ago. I did have a little project in mind, which was to go chronologically through all of the stories in the Elder Scrolls Online, which I didn't manage to do. I ended up in Alakir Desert, which is the one location short from completing the campaign from Daggerfall Covenant, and now I'm doing exactly the same thing with a new character. Meanwhile, I think about 2, maybe even expansions were released. Excuse me. So I created the Arcanist, the newest class available. Hello. And I found out that I really like the class. It is making the combat much more fluid for me and much more bearable. Because the combat in Elder Scrolls Online, a lot of people are not a fan. I'm one of those people. Some people think it's fine. I think it could be better. I'm more akin to New World or Black Desert Online, so Elder Scrolls wasn't really that much fun for me. But Arcanist is somehow okay. I like the laser and I like that everything dies. So what I've basically done, I've went far and beyond, and I've completed Daggerfall campaign, and now we are stuck in Coldharbour. We are going to be progressing from here, and this time I intend to finish the quote-unquote project, and I want to go chronologically through all of the mine quests. I had more criterias when I was playing back there. I am not trying to clear all maps and everything that is available in each of the zones. What are my main criteria right now are, if you open up the map, you see here, what I want to do is I want to clear all of the mine quests in each zone, chronologically speaking, and I want to also get myself all of the sky shards because I want skill points. Now, with that said, I am playing Daggerfall Covenant, and I have actually a clear step-by-step guide, which seems to be up to date. So for Daggerfall Covenant, we've already cleared the Daggerfall Covenant campaign, but we also need to do the Coldharbour itself. So after I've cleared the Bankorai zone, which I did about a year ago, maybe half a year ago, I don't really remember myself. Must have been around 6 months or so. We do need to finish the mages and the Fighters Guild quest, which I already done as well. Now I'm continuing to the Coldharbour, and I need to finish the final assault. Once this is done, we will go to the Prophet, and with the God of Schemes quest line, we will proceed, and we will go to Cadwell, which will revamp or reset all of the quests for us, and he will send us into Aldmiri Dominion first, and after to the Ebonheart Pact zones. I won't be in need to clear the quote-unquote the original mine story again, because that is already done, but there is still a lot of zones that are unfinished, and all of those can be played in any order now. This is why I'm trying to do it chronologically, to have certain order with it. So we will clear 6 zones of Aldmiri Dominion, 6 zones of Ebonheart Pact, and once we are done with this thing, the DLCs will come to mind. So first will be Crackloran, then Imperial City Orsinium, then Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood. These, I'm not going to be starting from the scratch. Well, I will be, but like some pre-quests I have already done because I wanted to access the Thieves Guild and I wanted to have the Dark Brotherhood assassinate ability to help me throughout the questing. So some of the things I already have, but we will finish the rest of those. I think you need to collect some reputation for those as well, so we will need to do some dailies, but I think this won't be in today's stream whatsoever. Like realistically you can do about one location, unless it is like some super short location in one stream. Usually not even that is enough, so we will see. After that we will have Shadow of the Hists, then we will proceed to Morrowind, then into Skyrim, Clockwork City, again Skyrim, Somerset, again Skyrim, Murkmire, Bradstone, Elsewhere, Dragonhold. There is a lot. There is a lot. Greymoor, which is like the real Skyrim, but oh my god. I think when I originally started with this idea, there's been so many additions. We also have the Deadlands, we also have the High Isle, and now we also have the Apocrypha, or the New West with the Arcanist stuff in it, and after that Golden Road, and those two are not even covered in this guide whatsoever. So yeah, I have a lot of work in front of me, and I will try to stream as much of these mine quests as I can because I want to go back to streaming. I'm finally healthy, at least somehow healthy, to the point that I can tolerate streaming and I can try to go back to some sort of regime, matter of day-to-day business. With that said, of course it is my stream, so I'm already starting with I'm lost, because now the Army of Meridia questline, meaning I need to rescue Kind Larorian Dinar, Vanus Galerion, and restore the Hollow City, and there is no marker on the map, so I don't know where to go or what to do. I don't think there are any information in this guide. Let me check. No, I don't think so. Okay. Perfect. So what do we have in the quest log? I need to rebuild an army if we are going to have any chance confronting Moloch Baal and stopping the plane melt. The mysterious groundskeeper suggests I rescue as many people as I can and send them into Hollow City. King Clarorian Dainar is imprisoned to the west, beyond the Moonless Wall. Vanus Galerion is trapped somewhere to the east. I should also watch for any other missing Fighters Guild and Mage Guild members, or anyone else who can help me. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the west first. I hope I will find King Valerian somewhere around here. Luckily, my character is at this point pretty strong, because I wasn't only just doing quests, I was also running a lot of dungeons. And while it is not a top-notch build, it is something that you can manage somehow. So you can see they are really melting. Talking about Moloch Baal, aren't we? So I hope the sound is okay. I did tone down the game a little bit. Okay, perfect. You know, this is why I like the Arcanist class, because you can melt everything on range even if you are a stamina build. It's quite comfortable to play, at least for me. No unnecessary like weapon weaving, which I'm not a fan at all. And also the cracks mechanic is very interesting. If you don't know what cracks mechanic is, if you see those runes just floating around me, those triangles, I have 3 at this point. It means that some of my abilities generate these cracks effects, and some of the abilities will be consuming these effects to increase their own. So
you're alive. That's wonderful. Can we talk?
why don't I have? Okay, I do have a new rig, so I consider this a problem with the settings, because it seems to me that I do not have subtitles on, but I do have subtitles on. Even though this NPC is talking to me and not really showing any subtitles.
You're a real live person, aren't you? I thought I was all alone out here. I bet you came from that city over there. Could you help me, please?
Okay, as I said, I'm not going to be doing any sort of side quests unless they're like straight in my face or really necessary. What I'm trying to do right now is trying to do some exploring of the zones. 4 sky shards, 4 teleporting stones, and of course for the main quest that is now being obscure. So what I think I need to do is I need to find 2 additional subquests, one for the king and one for the Venus, and to free both of them. So I will proceed to this sky shard and see what I can figure out around there. And there is a mine quest, so maybe we are on the right direction. Hello? This pack was apparently left behind when this camp was abandoned. I should search the pack. The pack contains some dried meat, a few pieces of fruit, and a handful of fruit vegetables. It also contains a sign that identifies it as having belonged to a member of the Fighters Guild. I should look around and see if I can determine what happened to the Fighters Guild members. Okay. Is this a gold? No, it's a piece of tent. Okay, never mind. Cooking fire, we don't need any cooking. However, maybe I should just pop some food just to be sure, right? Something wrong with the portal spell. Instead of firing Coldharbour as an invading force to be reckoned with, we wound up scattered in 4 winds. Okay. So they got scattered. Got it. Can you actually do archaeology in Coldharbour? Can you scry here? You actually can scry here. Tormentor's roller. Okay. Void crystal anomaly. Okay, this is one of those things that I need my skills for, because I want to level up my archaeology as well. Let's go this way.
These swords, they must be a clue. Now where did those fools run off to?
This sword appears to have been deliberately placed so that its blade points to a specific direction. Okay. Oh, wait. What are the Spriggan doing here? I get that Spriggan are probably Daedra, but I wouldn't expect them in Coldharbour at all. More like in a sphere of Kain. I don't know what sphere Kain inhabits, but... However, in this timeline, in this very quest, what is happening right now is Molagbald is trying to melt the phases or planes together, which would make sense that stuff from the Coldharbour is appearing on the Tamriel, and stuff from Tamriel or Nirn, whatever you call it, is appearing in Coldharbour, because he invented those Anchors. And by the laws of Cosmos, or whatever you would call it, the Daedric princes, they are forbidden from direct interaction with the Nirn, with the world. But he kind of figured out a loophole, so he is trying via those anchors of his to influence and eventually melt planes together, so he could literally go and conquer the world of mortals, which would be catastrophic, obviously. Also, the sacrifice of the soul of the main protagonist was so part of it, which is what the Manimarco did, the Mad Wizard, but Manimarco is kind of dead. We killed him, so he is no longer a threat. The so-called King of Worms, by the way. So maybe that's why the Spriggans are here. I'm getting Spriggan bark. Is it a crafting material or what it is? I have no idea, honestly. Well, I'm going to figure that out later.
These poor creatures, just slaughtered. Nothing ever changes.
Paranio, what are you up to?
By Ifra's hairy feet, you outsiders just keep showing up.
I'm looking for my allies. Why are you calling me outsider, though? Okay, this is a wood elf. Just as those Spriggans. What is she doing here?
You and everyone else in this forest, it seems. My clan has already declared your allies to be trespassers. You don't want to know what we do to trespassers. The Shadow Walkers will catch them. They always do.
So they're going to kill them?
Does a fuzzy newt goat have 7 toes? Don't look at me like that. It's a perfectly appropriate analogy. Anyway, I hope I reach them before the hunters do. Otherwise, your allies don't stand a chance.
Why do you want to find them?
Because I'm tired of seeing people get hurt. Ugh. Things need to change round here. We've already spent way too much time talking about fuzzy newt goats. I really need to get moving.
So she seems confused. Now the question is she a vestige or like a lost, or is she actual wood elf that has been dragged into the Coldharbour with seemingly part of the forest? That's interesting. How are you going to find them?
Have you noticed the swords left near these campfires? I think your companions are trying to tell us something. I'm going to keep looking for them. If I can reach them before the hunters, they might just get out of this forest alive. Keep your eyes open and your weapon ready. The shadows here are not your friend.
Okay, so we are continuing deeper into the forest. Let me mount up. Bypass the enemies quicker. I've been always fascinated by Oblivion spheres, and by Oblivion I don't mean just the game, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, more like
More
Oblivion
outsiders.
or
Show them the penalty for entering the moonless walk.
the void, or whatever you would call it, is around the earth, everywhere, something like the cosmos. And this is where these magical beings and Daedric princes and all of these living. And it is always such a fascinating, dreamlike planes and words. This sword appears to have been deliberately placed. Yeah, we already seen the sword. Let's go back. Even though Coldharbour is like the worst plane you could end up in, it's like so cold, it's ugly, it's inhospitable.
You need to be alive. You have to be.
Oblivion is
I
a
need
great
you
game.
to help me. I didn't do it. I swear. He was like this when I found him.
Oblivion is a great game. I didn't mean any disrespect by that. What I'm saying is that the Oblivion as a actual term in the games, in the lore, as opposed to the game itself, because the Oblivion is sort of more than just that one video game, right? Just like if you say Skyrim, then you can mean the video game Skyrim, but you can also mean the northern reach of the, what is it called? Tamriel, but this northern region, this is all Skyrim, so that's what I meant by that.
This poor soldier. He didn't have to die. At least the Khajiit got away. How long can he manage to survive, though? I don't know. My clan can be very persistent.
Why is your clan hunting these soldiers?
Because we made a stupid deal long time ago. We became the guardians of this forest in exchange for power and immortality. But look at the cost. Now the Shadow Walkers hunt anyone who dare sets foot in these woods.
I need to help the Khajiit.
There might still be a way to save the other soldier, the Khajiit. But you need to trust me. I won't oppose my clan directly. They're my family. But I can help you find your friend. I just want to make sure no one else gets hurt.
Already killed 2 of your family then. What do you want me to do?
The Shadow Walkers use runners to search the forest, but you'll never see them. They become one with the shadows, all but invisible when the clan is on high alert. There is a way to see the runners, though.
How can I see the invisible runners?
You need to collect the bark of a Spriggan. The bark's magic allows the creatures to... how should I put this? Feel their way through the dark woods. Infuse the bark with the wisps of light, and you should be able to spot the runners.
I have the bark already.
Just scrape a bit off the top end. There. An old trick I learned living so long in this dreadful place. My friends thought it was funny to hide from me, so I'd use this to see them. It also has an interesting side effect.
What side effect?
While it allows you to see anyone hiding in the Shadow Realm, it also masks your presence from them. I've used this method to avoid patrols and sneak out of the forest. It really works.
Okay.
But remember, the effect is temporary. It doesn't last long.
So how does it work?
Touch the bark to a wisp of light, and then cross the bridge. The runners are searching for the remaining soldier. When you spot a runner, follow him. He should lead you right to your friend. And if the effect runs out, just touch another wisp.
Well then. It's just touching wisps, aren't we? That sounds wrong. Do the wisps consent to be touched, though? I absolutely hate these flowers. I have been killed by one of those in dungeon a long time ago, and I hate them ever since. Like, absolutely hate them. Because if you are trying to run away from them, they will just drag you back. And then slowly choke you in the dungeon. It wasn't pleasant. Sometimes you just develop the irrational hatred towards certain mobs in video games just because they killed you back then when you were a noob. Even if that mob itself isn't actually a threat at all, it's just a normal mob. It's just how it works. Yeah, like Murlocs, exactly. That's exact analogy. Look, I think I'll follow this guy then. Okay.
I could have sworn I heard something. Where in Ifra's name is that sound coming from? What's all that noise out there?
Hailed, follow, okay. I need to find another one. This is kind of stupid because there's so many mobs in the way. I need to find another one. I need to touch a wisp, I guess. Perfect. That sound is actually annoying. I know what the runner meant by that. I seriously, the second I start screaming, not screaming, sorry. The second I start streaming, I get the most stupid quest possible. I guess I need to find the runner again. Oh, there he is.
Creatures acting so strangely today.
So maybe I need to just keep my distance, because if I'm too close he starts talking and then looking around. Maybe that was what failed me before.
There has to be something out there. I could have sworn I heard something.
Or maybe this is just scripted, I don't know.
Where are the creatures acting so strangely today?
Wasn't this where I lost him last time? I think it was. So do not go too close to him, I guess. It's fine by me. I'm pretty sure I did complete this quest line.
Leave the outsider alone, one
You will not harm me.
This one knows there is an entrance to the tower somewhere nearby. Come on, us, get in.
Alright, let's kill them.
We shall find.
I don't think you should be following that Lamia, buddy. We save him from one threat, only for him to fall into another, right? That's my understanding of whatever is happening right now. Before we proceed, let me grab this teleportation altar, face shrine first. Thank you. And then maybe ward boss. Would I be able to solo a ward boss? I could try. I'm definitely, my character and my build is definitely strong. Like, it's nothing like extra, because the thing the people in Elder Scrolls community are able to come up with is absolutely bonkers sometimes. But I don't think I'm how weak either. So let me get this 1/3 of the skill point, and it was the 3rd skill shard, sky shard, so I got actually skill out of that. Let me check the boss. Should, however, remember how to play this guy, right? So are they fighting the boss already? Seems to me like they do. Let me just heal this guy. It's gonna be fine. The Arcanists, they are like very, very strong. What the hell? I would personally find one and only one skill bar very, very limiting in terms of what you can do. It is lazy way, yeah, but more important than just lazy, I think it would be very limiting for me. Because I like my ability to swap freely between healer and DPS and do basically both roles. Because that way, if you want to be a healer, at least for low tier content, you can be very effective. Because anytime when you don't actually need to be healing, you can just go straight up deal damage. And it's fine. And that's what was down. In that case, it's the same effect, to be honest. I just don't want to have the healer sub-spec on second bar. Well, yeah, but I also... or whatever, but I can keep myself alive with the healer sub-spec. Because just the DPS is not enough, especially if you are trying to... if you are trying to kill the ward boss, for example, solo, and one bar is not going to be enough unless you are severely overgeared. Well, you certainly can have one heal on your bar, but then you are limiting yourself in other ways. The way my bars work is that I have heals, I have buffs, and dots and everything I basically need. But if you do mind swapping your weapons, then by all means. That ring is for people like you. It has its meaning, right? The most archaeology equipment is like this. It's sort of niche way that will change your playstyle. I think there is a ring that prevents you from being healed by other players, but also gives you a huge
Elf, I know the best way into the tower.
lifesteal and huge damage boost. So you cannot be healed by others, so it's absolutely non-ideal thing to have for like dungeons with other people and stuff, because healer will not be able to help you. But you can be self-sufficient with that ring. So Elf is right here.
You are with the Khajiit outsider. I know this. Go, talk to your friend.
I don't trust her at all. Like, do not trust
This one
Daedra.
does not understand the game the little elf and the snake thing are playing. But we have something important to do. We need to get into this tower. The key to our victory. It's in there. I know this to be true.
What are you talking about?
We heard voices in the woods. We thought it was other members of our expedition calling to us for help. But Captain Alfari figured it out. The voice comes from this tower. Whoever is locked in there needs our help, and he will help us in return.
What do you know about the Lamia?
The wood elves started hunting us almost as soon as we stepped into this dread forest. They killed Captain Alfari in cold blood. I barely escaped. The snake thing found this one, lost and injured, and led me safely through the woods.
And why are the Lamia and Faraniel arguing?
This one isn't sure. The little elf appeared out of nowhere. But at least she didn't try to kill Camus like the other elves did. They both claim to know how to get inside the tower, but Camus doesn't trust either one of them.
Smart. Head for the city to the east. It's safe there. I'll investigate the tower.
A safe haven in this place. Camus looks forward to seeing such a thing. Let me rest for a moment before I head out. I wish I could go with you, but until my injuries heal, I would only slow you down. Good luck, my friend.
Do you have any advice before you head to the city?
This one doesn't know very much about this area, but this one always has opinions. Ask what you will, and I will answer.
If I decide to
The least
ask
I can do.
one of them for help, who would you choose?
Oh, what a choice. Like deciding whether to roast slowly or leap right into the flames. There is no good answer. But if we were seeking allies, Camus would choose the elves. They are strong and capable. They could be a great help against Molag Bal.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, the Lemirs and the Wood.
Okay, so I need to talk to one of those. Okay, hold on. Hang on a second. I will be right back. Sorry about the wait. So, let's talk with Faranil first.
I know you can't forgive my clan for what it's done, but they adhere to an ancient promise that will never come to pass. I can help you, though. No one knows that tower better than I do, but I need to ask for your help in return. It's important.
What do you need my help for?
You have to help me convince my clan to break this ages-old agreement. We've guarded these woods and that cursed tower, assuming that one day Molag Bal would reward us and let us return to Valenwood. But that's never going to happen.
Well, can I change the mind of the Shadow Walkers?
Like me, you've been outside this forest. You know about Molag Bal's plan. You know about the plane meld. You have to tell them that our agreement is worthless. How can we ever return to Nirn if Molag Bal destroys it?
What about the Lamia and her people?
Those monsters. We've been at war with them for ages. My people will never listen to you if you take their side. The Shadow Walkers are powerful. We would be of great help to you, but only if you aid me and convince my people.
We shall help you enter the tower, but first you must help us against these foul wood elves. Do not listen to their lies. They murder our children for no reason. Please, you must help me save the little ones.
The Wood Elves are killing your children.
We never asked to be dragged into Coldharbour. We never made a deal with the Daedric Prince. But ever since we got here, the Wood Elves raid our nests and slaughter our children. This cycle of murder needs to end.
Why do you need me?
You are a hero. You stride through Coldharbour with confidence, and not even the Wood Elves can touch you. You can win this battle for us, and we will be in your debt. We will show you how to enter the tower, even help you in your mission.
I mean, she's got a point. Those Shadow Stalkers, they did willingly make a deal with Molag Bal, and honestly, the assholes like these cost me my soul, right? Because canonically, your character starts at the very beginning by being captured by the Worm Cult, which is just another cult that is worshipping Molag Bal, and they kill him or her and sacrifice the soul to Molag Bal, and that is why the vestige is vestige, basically the soulless person.
They are monsters. They destroy our eggs and slaughter my people. If you aid
Very
the
well,
Wood
I'll help you.
Elves, you will? We have waited such a long time for someone to aid us in our struggle. You have made me very happy, outsider. The vile and ruthless Wood Elves smash our eggs just because they feel threatened by our numbers. They even hold some in their dwellings, using them as hostages against us. This is not a way to live. We must get our eggs back.
Where are the Wood Elves keeping your eggs?
They keep our eggs in their camps, holding them to keep us docile. They force us to stay near our own nests, hunting us down if we wander too far. We want our children back. We need our eggs.
If I rescue your eggs, you'll show me how to get into tower.
The tower. Yes, the tower. We will help you with that, and so much more. But all of our eggs must be returned. They hide our eggs in their filthy camps. You must enter their homes to rescue our children. But be very careful. Such an intrusion will result in great pain and death if they catch you.
Wait, outsider. A moment more of your time. I get it. My people killed one of your own. They aren't evil, though. You have to understand. We signed a pact to protect this forest. The Shadow Walkers believe that if they fail to honor that agreement, we're all doomed.
They tried to kill me too.
Well, yes. I can't argue with that. I understand why you'd want to side with these creatures. I also know you need to get their eggs back. But my people don't need to die while you do it. Recover the eggs, but don't hurt my people.
You're asking for a lot.
I'm not asking for anything you can't do. And I'll go with you when you're done, to help. I've been planning to leave anyway, so now's as good a time as any. You can use me, just don't kill any Shadow Walkers. Please.
And how do I get into a camp full of elves without killing any one of them?
The Shadow Walkers watch the forest, but they're too confident. They leave our camps practically undefended. You could sneak in, get the eggs, and get out.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I can sneak in, alright? Like the wood elves are one of the worst elves, maybe if you do not call the sea elves in the Elder Scrolls lore. Like, these guys, they're absolute savages. They eat everything, including other elves, people. And meanwhile, they are just living in trees because they have some sort of silly religion that they cannot build things. But if a high elf or any other temporary ally just strolls by and builds houses for them, they will move in no problem because they didn't build it, so they can use it. So basically their religion not only is very savage, but also very like, we are not lazy, we are just religious people, you know. We don't want to build our houses, but if you build some houses for us, there is nothing in our religion that would prohibit us from using those houses. So, you know, yeah, fuck them. Not only I will murder every single one of these elves that I encounter, but if you get in my way, Paranil, whatever their name is, I will murder you too, because I don't like you. And canonically, if you are striking deals with Molag Bal, I am not going to like you. That's how it is. Oh, there is the egg. Last one. Perfect. Oh my god. Can I just get rid of the buff? What is that? Okay, you know what? I just reload pretty quick because that sound, it's driving me crazy. I'm not even... It's one of those things that you inevitably encounter whenever you're playing any sort of game. Especially an MMO, like some sort of bug, where there is a sound effect and then that sound effect persists even if you are way past the story point and all of that stuff. But hopefully the wisp constantly humming is away now. Also, apparently, I seem to have a great Get War on my background, so yeah. See? The effect is gone. Because it was only for that following up of the now, but it just
You
persisted.
recovered our eggs. How wonderful. My people will be most grateful to you for this.
I fulfilled my part of our bargain. Now it's your turn.
I must return these eggs to our nest, but there is one more thing you must do before my people will feel truly safe. Please, may I tell you about this final task?
Alright.
A council of elders leads the wood elves. They live upon a large rock that floats above us. Queen Fajik's eggs were taken and hidden up there. You will need a key to open the portal and gain access to the floating rock.
Okay, this is 11 years old game at this point. I think it was released 2014 if I'm not mistaken. So these kind of boring quests are to be expected. I promise it gets better with each DLC zone. Where do I get this key?
The key is divided into 2 shards, each protected by a Shadow Walker Guardian. As soon as you acquire the 2 shards, go to the camp in the center of the forest. My people will meet you there.
But and it was quick. I like that. Cannot mount in combat. Who is fighting with me though? Alright. So if you just saw my soul shards getting filled in with souls, it is because I have this passive ability from this Spriggan ran all the way. Now he just resets. So if you go to the world and you look at the soul magic, one of the... Oh, I have actually... Oh, this is the new thing that they added, that you can change the effects of your spells. It is just passive, it is cosmetic, but I think it's fine. Anyway, what you can do is Soul Lock, passive skill. Killing an enemy has 10% chance of automatically filling an empty soul gem, which is basically making the whole soul trap or soul siphons, whatever these things are, obsolete, because you're passively just gaining souls from killing stuff, which is a wonderful thing to do. Just always make sure you have enough empty soul shards in your inventory and you will be fine. So
The outsider who has done so much for my people. I am grateful. Perhaps when this is over, my people can live without fear or worry.
I'm not even going to try, but the other Lamia promised you your aid if I helped you.
Once the tyranny of the Shadow Walkers has ended, you will have the help you need. But first,
We must recover my children from the Council. Did you acquire the portal shards from the Guardians?
Yeah, I have the shards.
Good. Direct the shard key toward the portal at the center of the arches. The Lamias will do the rest.
I feel like kind of conflicted because on the one hand you should be probably helping monsters, like Lamias are monsters, and like the instinct is like just help the elves. But then from the narrative perspective, the Lamias are kind of chill. They even tried to save my Khajiit buddy. And they're just trying to protect their eggs, while the elves are kind of douchebags. So, yeah.
Your time is now, my children. Swarm forth and reclaim what is ours. Finally, our children are avenged.
So you've killed all the elves. That's fine by me. Are you eating them? I don't see Faranil here, but I guess we will encounter her later.
The wood elves have fallen. My eggs shall be returned to my nest, and my people shall be safe. The Shadow Walkers shall be lost without their leaders. The day is ours.
I like this because depending on who you choose, you will be doing completely different set of chain quests with some optionals on it, so that is actually clever.
What would you have us do? The Wood Elves slaughtered my people. They would not listen to reason. The only chance we had was to remove their leaders. Now, we shall watch the Shadow Walkers crumble.
How to get to the tower?
You have helped us. Now we shall help you. I instructed Zignith to head to the ruined passage that leads to the tower. You shall find
Okay,
them.
bye. I know everything I needed to know. Let's talk to Ziknik. It's nice that it's completely dubbed, because then you know sometimes these weird names, how to actually pronounce them, or at least how the creator meant them to be pronounced. It's nice to have a choice. World of Warcraft missed this in some cases. I wouldn't say some cases. I'd say the only real choice that you have in World of Warcraft is whether you are going to play Alliance or Horde. And even that choice is diminished in later expansions where the quest lines are mostly the same. The last time there were some mostly different quest lines was back in Battle for Azeroth. And before that in Legion it was all the same again. Draenor was different because different garrisons, even though most of the zones again the same. So really only choice is this one, and then there are some niche things like when you try to be Sylvanas loyalist, but like, yeah, only psychopaths and sociopaths do this. Like, who the hell would like to side with a freaking genocidal maniac who burned down the World Tree? Like, that doesn't even make sense. There may be some niche quests that actually give you some sort of choice, but usually, even if there is a choice, it doesn't really impact anything. Yeah, you are forced. I mean, that's true for most of MMORPGs, right? Unless it's sandbox. And whenever you slum in a scripted quest line, then you will always be following the quest line. It's Final Fantasy is the same, World of Warcraft is the same, even New World, all of these are the same, Black Desert Online, the same again. So there's not really much to do. You cannot expect the MMO to be akin to Baldur's Gate 3, for example, in the matter of choices. It really isn't there. The more freedom MMO gives you means the more detached from the questing system altogether it needs to be. For example, earlier stages of the new world, there still were some quests, but mostly it was just folks running around various zones, chopping trees and filling up the leaderboards. Not leaderboards, but the city boards and city tasks. And city tasks are not really any moral choices. It's just the only choice you have. Like, am I going to collect like 400 pig hides and hand it to the city so the city can grow, or will I not do that and then I won't be rewarded? And that's not really a moral choice. It's more like economy choice, right? So in that sort of form, the sandboxiness of it all is, I think, the only way where the MMO RPG can really be with some sort of choices. But even if you try hard to give meaningful choices with various consequences, you still end up in the formula of a linear MMO RPG. Even if some quest chains will be different, and maybe there will be some different outcomes for what happens to NPCs in your world, and best example of this is actually Star Wars: The Old Republic, where the choices have some sort of meaning behind them, and sometimes your choice means that NPC will live or die, or if we want to advance upon that idea, if that NPC is going to live happily or in misery. And all of that can be influenced by the player choices. And it also, your choices then reflect into your inclination to the dark or a light side. And I like that. The Star Wars: The Old Republic is probably better single player RPG than it is an MMO RPG. Because while there is a lot of MMO RPG stuff that you can do, it really plays more like single player RPG with choices very similar to like Fallout series or the predecessors, Knights of the Old Republic, maybe Dragon Age, all of those things. So it's pretty well done in that regard. With that said, let's carry on. Let's go to the tower. Let's free the king. Hopefully. We have 2 out of 11 quests done. So as you can see, the quest chains are pretty large in this game. Not large, but reasonably long. At least the main story quest. The normal quests are usually just go there, kill a couple of monsters and be done with it, but not always. Sometimes even sub-stories, especially in later expansions like in Somerset, the sub-stories are sometimes really branched and really good. But especially on the base game and some early DLCs, some quests are like, yeah, go there, kill 8 harpies or drop 8 harpies, come back. But the main story quests are kind of branched, kind of long.
My people rejoice. Most consider us monsters, but you helped us. We will never forget your generosity and compassion. My egg sisters will live, and life, even in this wretched place, is precious. Thank you.
Have fun living in Coldharbour, I guess. So I did what I needed to do.
As I promised, this door leads to the tower. I do not know what the tower holds, but we have heard the cries for help from within. Be careful in there, outsider. This is Coldharbour. Even the most mundane things can hide terrible dangers.
And what will you do now?
The Khajiit told me of a city of safety to the east. I will take some of my people, for we would very much like to see this city. We will be there if you have need of us, my friend.
Okay, so we are building an army. That's good. The music in this game is beautiful. It's so subtle as well. The promised one has finally arrived. Why didn't I hear him? I don't know what he was saying. King Colorian dinner. Oh. Didn't I see you somewhere in the city before? I don't remember.
You made it this far, just as I had predicted. I am glad to see that my calculations were not in error. Now, if you are ready, we have a prison to break out of.
Okay. Collect Light of Meridia. Okay. Wait. What was this? There was something. Ancient branch. Oh! Let me in. Good. Excellent, bring the crystal with you, you will need it, blah blah blah. Why are you skipping conversations on me? I don't like it. And you can encounter it actually a lot in games of this scale, because as the games are expanding, one DLC or one expansion or the other, they are stacking up. They're making huge changes of the game, changes to the engine, maybe improving the game, and unarguably the game looks better in the end of this process. However, this feature creep also means that sometimes on the beginning of the games, on the zones like this, you can encounter stupid bugs, like for some reason NPC just starts talking and then immediately shuts up, not even finishing the first word, let alone the sentence. And in the end, this will rarely get fixed, because most of the player base are usually doing the endgame zones, so only people who really encounter this are people leveling alts and doing the quests of old for whatever reason, and paying attention to it, which is another factor. Sometimes people are just running from the arrow to the arrow and don't really care what is going on, because they just want the XP reward and gold and stuff. So a lot of times things like this will never get fixed, which I find kind of disturbing, mostly because this is the trend that I didn't encounter like once, but it's mostly in a lot of games. Like no particular example comes to mind, but I just have the feeling that things like this are happening all over the place.
I have waited for centuries, and waited and waited. Do you know how boring that can be? But now, you are here, just as Meridia foretold.
Meridia knew I was coming.
The Radiant One knows many things. She knew that one day the city she plunged into Coldharbour would serve her purpose. At first, she thought I would fulfill that prophecy. But I failed. And now, I need your help.
Where are you projecting this image from?
Have no fear. I am as alive as you are. Molag Bal has preserved me so that I can endure his endless tortures. His cruelty knows no bounds. I can't slip free of this lightless oubliette, but I have managed to send my projection to meet you.
How do I set you free?
I knew you were the one I was waiting for. Whatever your purpose here, I can help you. Especially if it has anything to do with ruining Molag Bal's day. I have heard many secrets during my time here, and I shall share them with you. You made it this far, just as I had predicted. I am glad to see that my calculations were not in error. Now, if you are ready, we have a prison to break out of.
How did you wind up in here?
I was captured shortly after Meridia pushed her city into this dread realm. This prison relies on darkness. Early on, I almost broke free. Now Molag Bal shapes the darkness itself to bind me, suppressing my attempts to escape.
So what should I do?
Molag Bal has trapped me within a pillar of darkness, infused with his own vile energy, and powered by the light of Meridia. That, however, will be his undoing. The light of Meridia can also banish this darkness, but you have to bring it to me.
I'm on my way.
To reach me, you must first unlock the prison door. Molag Bal uses crystallized darkness to hold me and suppress my power. Move the crystals from their locations to the prison door, and the way shall be opened for you.
What are you exactly?
I am the last Ayleid king. In our ancient language, my name means ruler in dark times. I can imagine no darker time than the end of the Ayleid people.
I think there is a quest where you actually meet him in the flesh because you are sent into the past, or more likely, you never really are being sent into the past directly. Whenever there are quests or insights into the past, you are sent and not reincarnated, but let's say inhabited into one of the people who actually were there, and you are seeing throughout their eyes. Then you play as them, but canonically it's just you observing from point of view of one of the attendees of whatever event you needed to see. And in one such event we did meet this king alive. That's where I remember him from. I just remembered. How have you survived this long?
I am a servant of Meridia, her master tactician and strategist. Between my master's blessings and the time-distorting nature of this dread realm, I am still alive. Consider that your good fortune, for you will never defeat Molag Bal without my help.
I'll bring the light of Meridia to you.
To reach me, you must first unlock the prison door.
Okay, so I guess we are proceeding this way. So each Oblivion plane is very distinguished. Like you can almost tell that you are in Coldharbour because all of these unfriendly and cold structures and stalagmites, stalagmites, the gold caves, the almost obsidian instead of stone everywhere. The lore of Elder Scrolls is fascinating, it really is. I still need to read the book that I got about a lot of... It might be a little bit outdated at this point because a couple of more DLCs came out, but... It's not just Ayleid runes. Ayleids were the first elves, and they did worship and entertain a lot of Daedric princesses because they didn't care, and it is said that they were very cruel, but not all of them, as we can see, because this king, for example, was kind of okay. But I would say some aspects of their architecture might have been inspired by Coldharbour. But it shouldn't look like this, but maybe it does, because it is based around the memories of the Laloriaran. Let's call him Dinar. There are a lot of places It reference back to the Aelids throughout a lot of Elder Scrolls games. I don't think they're that much in Skyrim, for example, but I would assume that, especially in Daggerfall and Oblivion, there will be. And according to my experiences with Elder Scrolls Online, whenever there are Aelid ruins, there are bound to be ghosts, so to be scared exploring them is very valid point. So Dinar's prison is closed. Alright.
Enter the garden and collect the life shadow crystal. Then place it on the central dais at the entrance.
Will do. Okay, let's just read everything. I have a feeling that I unlocked because I completed the Mage's Guild quest. I believe I unlocked the lore library or something like this. Now I can actually track most of the books that I encounter in game. This is a nice addition. Also, it's funny because I'm literally playing a mage. Even though it is a full stamina build, my character is undoubtedly a mage because and not just mage, it's a powerful mage. Because all the spells that he casts, he's a devotee of Hermos Mora, by the way. But all of these spells that he casts are like powerful, usable. I don't even using weapon skills, even if my weapons are swords and the bow. Though, is it even swords? No, it's both of them are daggers, which is fine. Depending on what kind of oh. Well, that helped. Do I even need to use the light of Meridia? It's not like that I cannot see because it's too dark, is it? I wonder if like I can die or something. I would assume due to the ugly aura that I have around me that maybe I will eventually start getting damaged, but it doesn't seem so. That's one. The other one will be in here.
Enter the frozen alcove and collect the flame shadow crystal. Then place it on the central dais at the entrance.
Frozen alcove. So these Atronachs are a little bit stronger than normal mobs. If you check the health bar, it is mark of a light elite, which are like these little ornaments. The more and the bigger the ornaments are, the stronger the mob is. It's basically the rule of the Elder Scrolls Online. That's how the interface looks like, how interface treats the mobs. Oh, we turned it into a flame. And now we have flame Atronachs, which are paradoxically they are weaker than the first ones. But they're exploding, so yeah. And the last... Did I just hear a whisper? Okay. It's a background noise. Ouch.
Enter the library and collect the Mind Shadow Crystal. Then place it on the central dais at the entrance.
Yeah, I need to avoid these wisps because they are snuffing my light of Meridia. If I understood the mechanic correctly, at least. Or I can just nuke them, that works too. But I gotta say that from of the all advanced classes that this game offers, I did like Warden because he had a bear. I did like Necromancer. But I'm enjoying Arcanist the most, for whatever reason. It's just so smooth to play. The build that I'm using, even if it's just something that I figured on my own, it's really working well together, and it ties. All of these skills complement each other very nicely. You basically have a spell for every situation, and if you are using them accordingly, then you can clear stuff very, very swiftly, with ease, and without dying, which is most important. Well, they are no longer enemies, though. I like it. Every time you take away the crystal, the environment slightly changes. The frost changes into flame, I don't know what exactly happened in the garden, but in the library they're no longer aggressive. So it's nice. Like if you compare quests from Elder Scrolls with quests from World of Warcraft, for example, the Elder Scrolls quests are much more feeling like an adventure. And especially in mine quests, there's a lot of things are happening. In World of Warcraft, it's always come down to bring me X number of this, or kill this number of creatures, or maybe activate this item X amount of times. Sometimes they're a little bit more creative, but it is a contained ecosystem within its mechanics. And it's almost never something groundbreaking. In Elder Scrolls Online, you literally get transported to places, to different Oblivion spheres. There are things happening around. It's very, very refined sort of questing, and stuff is happening. The environments are changing. It's hard to describe because it's not like fireworks or something like that, shocking like this, but just look at this quest. Like it's really simple, but what happens is that the environment completely changes once you take away the crystal, and the mob reactions towards you also changes. And while such stuff can happen in World of Warcraft, for example, it never does to this extent. This nuanced opinion, I know, but
done, my friend. Now, enter the oubliette and set me free.
for example, and this is slight spoilers into Somerset, because I finished Somerset questline on one of my alts that actually started in Somerset, but whenever you are finishing Somerset and you are suddenly in this sort of library that is transforming into a different plane, into plane of nocturnal existence, and there are flying books everywhere, and you are climbing, and then you are fighting Daedric Prince, and it is all of this is contained within one quest, and it is very cinematic, and the Nocturnal herself actually makes appearance talking to you, and then you are fighting, and all of this stuff. And it is very cinematic and very enjoyable. In World of Warcraft, it's just the mob appears, kill it. If it is an important mob, then he will have more HP and maybe he will be talking to you, but it's still just tap target the mob and kill it. This was something completely different. And that's what I mean by that. It's hard to describe, but I will point it out when something groundbreaking happens in one of these quests.
You have done well to make it this far. But there is still more to do to set me free. My body is imprisoned within a pillar of darkness, generated by the ebon shards to each side. Place a light of Meridia in both of the sconces. Each will create a beam of light that will strike a nearby crystal. By rotating the crystals, you can change a beam's direction. You may need to rotate a crystal multiple times to connect the beams and form a path of light to the ebon shards. Adjust the crystals until the beams of light destroy the ebon shards. Then the Pillar of Darkness will collapse, and I shall be free.
Good. Oh, poor guy. Okay, so that's one. The second one. Almost done. That's perfect. He's so slow. He's 11 years old, by the way. So I will give it some slack, but okay, we're almost there. Sadly, this is not what I need. I need to turn it 2 more times. Again. There we go. And he's free.
Ah, freedom at long last. My calculations suggested that you had a slightly better chance to fail rather than to succeed. I suspect, though, that you often beat the odds. Thank you.
I heard that. That's a stupid question to ask. He was here tormented for millennia. Let's get out of here.
Agreed. Allow me to create a portal to Meridia's city. We can speak there.
So, in short, we got back into the business. We did talk about what this project is and how we are going to proceed. We did help Lamias and aggregated them into our army. We saved one Khajiit and we saved one king.
This portal leads to the Hollow City. We shall talk again when we are safely inside its walls.
So I think I will deliver this quest, and this will be it for the streaming right now. I need to take a break. But I hope that I will soon accommodate myself to be able to stream for longer periods. I know it's been a while. Sadly, health wasn't kind to me, so I did need to take it easy and get a little bit better before I was able to return to be streaming comfortably, etc. So either way, light from darkness, where is he? He's probably in here. In the Fighters Guild, okay, it's fine by me.
I have barely set foot within these hallowed walls, and I already feel 1,000 times better. And now that you are here, we can determine our next move against the vile Molag Bal.
Do you have a plan?
I must take stock of our assets and resources, determine just how much might we can bring to bear. Only then can I develop a strategy that shall allow us to win this war. But forgive me, I wanted to convey that you performed admirably at the tower.
Wait, so this set from Coldharbour is for tanks. It gives armor and stamina recovery. And when you block, you gain Meridia Blessed Armor for 5 seconds, causing you to dodge all incoming attacks. This effect can occur. So basically every 25 seconds you get 5 seconds of being completely immune to physical attacks. That's wow. That's actually pretty sick. Sometimes when I see set like this, I'm like, maybe I should play tank. But then I remember that this game is quite easy. Whenever you're playing DPS, you just choose if you are going full stamina or full magicka. Whenever you're playing healer, it's the same thing. You just go full magicka, unless you are playing, for example, Arcanist or Varden, which are two classes that can actually effectively heal with stamina as well. But whenever you're playing tank, you actually need to calculate how many points you will put into health, how many magicka you need, how many stamina you need. You cannot just dump everything into health, because then you wouldn't be a really good tank. You would have problems holding aggro, and you wouldn't be able to kill anything solo. Like you would be, but it would take ages. So paradoxically, tanks are, at least in my opinion, the most noob unfriendly thing to play in this game, especially because you need to know how to build them, which is something I don't, because I like the simplicity of being able to put just 64 points into my stamina and be done with it.
It is good to be back in this ancient city. I need to assess our strengths and weaknesses, determine how best to make our assault against Molag Bal. If we
Okay, so here's a next quest for me. What about the groundskeeper?
The pieces begin to fall into place. With the king's aid, we shall assemble a force worthy of Meridia's blessing.
Okay, so we have 2 more quests, which is fine. We still need to rescue Vanus Galerion and restore the Hollow City. So these are the 2 quests that I need to take, but I will take them next time. I am kind of curious what is happening now, but it would be better to take them when I'm actually going to fulfill those quests, because then we will know the bigger picture and we will know immediately what is happening. I hope I will be back to streaming soon. I don't think it will be today, but I hope I will get to streaming more tomorrow and maybe for a longer time. Still need to fix my sleeping schedule a little bit, But yeah, we are back, and we will be back. My VTuber avatar, by the way, unless you know it, is actually being made right now. It's in its final stages if it comes to being portrayed. The work is being done on animations right now, so that's nice. I will leave it as a surprise for anybody watching what my VTuber persona is going to be. But it is going to be fitting to this channel, especially considering the journey that we walked together. And once it is done, we will take that VTuber avatar, we will tie it to what it belongs, and maybe we will continue some other game with a lot of story that this avatar is tied to. With that said, I am actually curious how this is unraveling. I vaguely remember fight with Molag Bal when I beat this game 11 years ago when it came out. But after that, I will finish the other zones, and then I will finally jump into DLCs, where, with the exceptions of Somerset and the Eastern elsewhere, I don't really know where the story is going. And I'm really curious about exploring this world and gathering more skill points, making actually Omnicrafter of my character, decorating my house, and basically do whatever the hell I want to do. But to do that, I need to beat the story in chronological order, because my OCD wouldn't allow me to do it any other way. That has been a lot, so sorry for dumping this all on you. But with all that said, thank you for watching. This has been a pleasure. I like Elder Scrolls Online, this is a great game, and we'll be back to some streaming tomorrow. Bye.